Phantasmal Flames, the set that launches in a little over 3 weeks. Two parts to it, Phantasmal and Flames. So what it says to us is we're going to get a bit of a ghost and fire based set, which we all know. If you've done a little bit of research in the hobby and you've been tuned into Pokemon cards, you'll know that this set is pretty hyped up. Well, this channel, we talk all things Pokemon card investing. My name is Michael/Pokeoz, and when it comes to Phantasmal Flames, I really want to put that investing lens on it. A little bit to do with the singles, but moreover, I want to talk predominantly about the sealed product. So, how is this Ultra Premium Collection going to perform? How is the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box going to perform? And moreover, how are products like the Booster Box going to perform? And the first thing that comes to my mind when it comes to Phantasmal Flames is, and look, I want to flesh out this argument for this video, is it's quite lackluster. And look, that might seem a bit contradictory considering we got Gengar and Charizard as the two stars of the show. But the question that really comes to mind when I talk about it being a little bit lackluster is, can two Charizards carry a set? And that's essentially what this whole conversation is. That is the whole argument to Phantasmal Flames, because they're the two chase cards. I'll bring them up on the screen here. And look, I'll talk more in depth about them shortly, but can these two cards carry the set? That's what it's going to come down to. Fire-based Pokemon card sets have been out for a long time, and typically they have the star of the show, which is Charizard. If we go all the way back to XY era, we of course had Flash Fire, which was arguably the greatest, if not one of the greatest, Fire Charizard-based sets we've seen. If we fast forward to Sun and Moon, we had Burning Shadows, which was really a one-hit wonder. I'll touch a little bit more on these sets as we go along in this video. We fast forward to Sword and Shield era. We had Darkness Ablaze, which is arguably one of the weakest Pokemon card sets ever made. And then finally, when we got to Scarlet and Violet, we had Obsidian Flames, which come out with a little bit of backlash, but has grown in the eyes of collectors and investors alike. And now, fast forward to the newest block, Mega Evolution, which is going to be a pretty small block of Pokemon card sets before we await the new Gen 10 game that comes out. We have, of course, Phantasmal Flames. The other thing I will say is, this could have been phenomenal. We all saw the leaks, or if you're in the Pokemon hobby, you probably saw the leaks of that Gengar card. That's all this set needed. So for argument's sake, this set could have been an absolute home run if we had SIR Charizard, SIR Gengar, Gold Charizard in this new Mega Ultra Rare that we've got out, and Gold Gengar in the Mega Ultra Rare, done. This set is done. What a fantastic set. It will go down as one of the greatest investments. You could have had a couple of ancillary hits there that are worth $50 or $40 or $30 or $20, whatever it might be. But if it had those two big SIR chase cards and two big gold chase cards, argument done. What a fantastic set. I would be knocking down the doors to buy as much sealed product as I possibly can. That, however, is not the case. And before we get into the case, I just wanted to give a shout out to today's video sponsor, which is of course the Collector app. If you don't have the app, there'll be a link in the description to download it. Fantastic app. You can follow my journey down in the content creators section. Couple of new awesome upgrades to this app. If you click on the portfolio tab, you can scroll through your portfolio, of course, and now you can filter it. You can filter it to things like, what products have performed the best or singles have performed the best for you on the day. Moreover than that, if you click in the bottom right-hand tab, you used to only be able to see what you'd spent on cards and what your paper gain is, so what your unrealized gain on paper was, so your total value of your sealed and singles products, so your whole inventory. Now, when you sell something, you can actually put in realized gains, so you can see what you've actually made along your journey when it comes to Pokemon card investing. There's also some cool pro upgrades that'll give you awesome data as a pro member. This is a fantastic app. I've been using it for over 1,000 days and it hasn't done me wrong. Again, link in the description to download it. So let's delve into this a little bit more in depth. So I said it could have been an absolute home run. But from the looks of it, it's just not. We're not getting that Gengar SIR. We're not getting the Gold Gengar. It has one of the smallest set sizes we've seen in a long, long time. We've seen how a small set like Stellar Crown has performed. And, that just brings about a few flaws to this set. So the big question is going to be, if we trace back to the start of this video, I said, can the SIR Charizard, which, mind you, is a phenomenal looking Pokemon card. That is a really, really good looking Pokemon card. I love the artwork. Can that, coupled with the Gold Charizard Mega Ultra Rare, can they carry the set? Now, first of all, their raw prices are going to be dependent on the pull rates. If the pull rates are somewhere around 1 in 1,000 or 1 in 1,100 or thereabouts for the Charizard, the Mega Charizard SIR, that's going to be a damn expensive chase card. If the pull rates are similar to Mega Evolution base set with the Gold Charizard and it's somewhere around 1 in 1,800 or 1 in 1,600 or 1 in 2,000, whatever it might be, crazy, ridiculous, difficult pull rates, that will also be one hell of an expensive card. However, because it's a smaller set, if these have easier pull rates, as in that Charizard happens to be 1 in 400 cards, 1 in 400 packs, and the Gold Charizard happens to be 1 in 600, their raw prices are going to get squashed a little bit. And if their raw prices are squashed a little bit, the chases aren't as glorified, are they? Like they're not up there as much. And if they're not up there as much, that's going to be reflected in people wanting to open this as much. It's going to be reflected in sealed prices. And as a result, you know, this set as an investment could prove to be quite poor. So, look, these aren't bad looking Charizards. This isn't Darkness Ablaze 2.0. And I also don't think it's even Obsidian Flames 2.0 because we will have the 2 Charizards there, whereas we did just have the 1 Charizard in Obsidian Flames. And it's funny, like Obsidian Flames is doing funny things. So let's take a look at those older Charizard sets or discuss them just in a little bit more detail. So if we go back just to Scarlet and Violet era where we had Obsidian Flames. Obsidian Flames came out, it was a slightly smaller set, still bigger, mind you, than Phantasmal Flames, but it was a slightly smaller set than what we'd seen, particularly from Paldea Evolved and Scarlet and Violet base, but particularly Paldea Evolved, which is quite a large Pokemon card set. It's quite small, pull rates were quite easy, still tough gem rates, so it was very difficult to gem rate a card of 10 in Obsidian Flames. The print quality was quite poor. It was seen as a bit of a weak set, with that Charizard going for as low as like 40, 45 US dollars as a raw card there at some stage, just because the pull rates were quite easy on it. So, and look what it's done. It still performed okay. Like Obsidian Flames isn't a bad performing set. I don't think it's going to light up the sky and all of a sudden shoot to $1,000 a box. I just don't see that happening. But the demand for Pokemon cards at the moment and its position in the market being a Charizard based box, it's still performing okay. Rewind back in time a little bit to Sword and Shield era when we had Darkness Ablaze. That Darkness Ablaze Charizard, believe it or not, when that set first came out, that Darkness Ablaze Charizard in a PSA 10 was going for lots and lots and lots of money. The Charizard VMAX. And it was like, what the hell? That card should not be worth anywhere near that amount of money as a PSA 10. And now, things reflect that. They reflect how poor a set it is. It was overprinted. We see prices of that individual Charizard worth absolutely nothing. You could literally open a whole booster box of Darkness Ablaze and pull every single card from the set. And the total set value is still not worth the amount of the sealed booster box. That doesn't get seen very often in Pokemon cards, but it's ridiculous for a new set. If we backtrack even further to Sun and Moon era, Darkness Ablaze, its predecessor before that, of course, Burning Shadows, was very much propped up by a Mega Charizard. Not a Mega Charizard, but I'm using Mega as an adjective there. A really good Charizard from Burning Shadow. This was a good looking Charizard. In PSA 10, it is still worth a lot of money. When it first came out, it was worth a lot of money. During the hype of 2020 and 2021, it was also worth a lot of money. And it was propping up the box. But what we saw from Burning Shadows is we saw box price shoot up quite quickly in 2020, and then it just stabilized for a long period of time. Like Burning Shadows was sitting at around, what, 400 to 500 US dollars for like 3 or 4 years, and it pretty much didn't move. And only lately, given the latest spike in Pokemon cards, has it really pumped up in price a little bit more. The star of the show when it comes to Charizard sets though is XY Flashfire. That gives us a real example of what a good Charizard based set will have. It has at least 4 Charizard chase cards inside there. They're all really strong, they have tough pull rates, they're tough to grade at Gem Mint 10, they've got low populations as PSA 10s, so we have lots and lots of money in a PSA 10, and as a result that Flashfire booster box is worth lots of money. Fast forward now, let's get back on track with Phantasmal Flames. Like I was saying, it could have been an absolute home run. All it needed was Charizard SIR, Gengar SIR, Charizard Gold and Gengar Gold. Story done. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that. So what we have is Charizard SIR and Gold Charizard. And like I was saying, if pull rates are easy on those cards and they become like $150 chase card for the gold Charizard and a $120 chase card for the SIR Charizard, we're going to see sealed product not worth heaps. It's going to take some time for it to move. This could be the set that starts to slow down the Pokemon machine. And as we already know, the machine seems to be, I wouldn't say slowing down, maybe retracting ever so slightly. But we have seen this big Pokemon machine when it comes to singles and sealed product just come back a little bit. Either it's stagnated, so a lot of sealed product has stagnated over the last month, particularly the last 3 weeks. Some singles have pulled back in price. Some sealed products even that are worth or were worth a lot of money and going up rapidly have also pulled back in price. You know, even sets like Fusion Strike, for argument's sake, even sets like, what else has been absolutely paid? Even sets like Evolving Skies have pulled back in price a little bit. So it's crazy that we're seeing this retraction in the Pokemon card market. And Phantasmal Flames, if it has easy pull rates, easy to gem into 10, we could see this beast slow down even more. We could see, I suppose, clientele being quite disappointed in Phantasmal Flames. Having said that, the other side of the coin is this. Pull rates are super, super high, and both the SIR Charizard, which is a phenomenal looking Pokemon card, and the Gold Charizard become extremely expensive. Maybe one's an $800 chase card and the other one's a $1,000 chase card raw. And look, they're going to come out the gate hot, they will, but I'm talking stabilized price, you know, after 6 months of release. If we see that, still expensive cards because they're so damn hard to pull, then this will perform well as a sealed product. Now, talking about sealed product, the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box full stop will perform well. It just will. I think that Ultra Premium Collection will perform well as well. It's also got the Shinji Kanda artwork inside there as a promo, so I do think that will perform well. Both of those sealed products, particularly the Pokemon Center Elite Trainer Box with Charizard on the front, they have been performing well no matter what. The big question though is, how will a regular Elite Trainer Box perform and how will a regular booster box perform? What will print runs be like on all these products? I've heard the Ultra Premium Collection is going to be printed heavy, much like Sword and Shield's Charizard Ultra Premium Collection, which was printed really heavy. But we can still see how that performed. But mind you, that is Ultra, it is premium, and it is collectible. That is one hell of a UPC, that Charizard UPC from Sword and Shield era. The 3 promos are awesome. The playmat's phenomenal. It's got the best mixture of alt art Sword and Shield sets inside there. Bang, home run. Will the UPC from Phantasmal Flames be as good? Well, time will only tell, but the booster box, that's going to depend on what I was saying before when it comes to the prices of those raw products, those raw singles, what their pull rates are like, how they'll perform as a Gem Mint 10, you know, are they going to be difficult to grade? We still need some data on these gold cards from the whole Mega Evolution, like are they just, you know, off center, hard to grade, low Gem Mint 10 rate? Those things all need to come into play, but Phantasmal Flames, will this be the set that really puts, not the nail in the coffin, but really puts that little stamp where it's saying, hold on, this Pokemon machine is starting to slow down a little bit. This is a small set, could have simple pull rates or easier pull rates. Where's the Gengars? You know, it's Ghost Fire. Give us some good Ghost Fire Pokemon. There's more than just Charizard. You know, Gengar, give him some time in the spotlight again. You know, it's been since Fusion Strike since Gengar's had a big chase card, and that was quite some time ago. You know, we're talking 2 generations ago now. What are your thoughts on Phantasmal Flames? Is it going to be the set that starts to slow down the beast or continues to slow down the beast? Or do you think no matter what, Charizard can just hold up a set and it'll be a home run? I'm Michael, this is PokeOz. Catch everyone next time.